We are back. We're going to be playing around with some more alcohol inks today in this mould again. Update on the sun fade test. I did put a post up in the community tab, but for those who may be new to the channel, this one has been stored indoors for 15 weeks in a sealed envelope, and this one has been outdoors, and we have had a really good summer. They've been in direct sunlight for at least 6-7 hours a day, so you can see there's a little bit down there, but really not much at all to panic about. So I'll never give up using them anyway. I think they give some really good results. So we're just going to be sticking with 1 drop of colour per piece, and then we're going to do a background. Hopefully we can make those colours pop. I did do an alcohol video a couple of weeks ago. This was one of the results, but I want to keep it more minimalistic this time round. So we're going to be using the collaboration resin. It's the best resin from Let's Resin to use for the Petri. If you've got the standard resin, it's a lower viscosity. You will need to dilute your C deeper down. I have done that in a previous video, and that was quite a while ago. That was hashtag 25, tutorial 25, which shows the difference between the viscosity and using the C deeper. Lots of people are still getting confused and asking me if I'm diluting my C deeper down. You don't need to with this resin at all. And of course we're going to be using the 26 ink alcohol ink set from Let's Resin. Right, let's get mixing. So I'm not mixing up too much, but as I'm doing this, another tip: if you've got a heat mat, don't go putting these onto the heat mat straight away, because what will happen is the heat will lower the viscosity of the resin, so the inks will sink a lot further down and potentially blob. So just bear that in mind. When I've sped things up with heat in the past, I've always let the Petri pieces sit for a couple of hours before then using some kind of heat, because you will get some really strange effects, including blobbing, sadly. But as always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks. Thank you very much. Let me just finish mixing this and then we will pour. And as always, I'm just giving my mould a blast with my release spray to help protect it, keep it shinier for longer. I'm still struggling to find that US version. I was recommended a product, but I couldn't find it on Amazon for you. Okay, my resin is poured. Now I know I said 1 drop of colour per piece, which is what I'm going to stick with, but in this one I'm going to see how much I can get in there, because this is quite a big piece, and just for a little bit of difference in the video as well. But for those new to my channel, in this bottle here that you'll see me dropping on top of my colours, that is just the Sinker White C Deeper from Let's Resin. You get 2 bottles of that, or you can get the larger bottles. Again, all links are in my description box below. Just click that downward arrow. You can see I've done a couple of really small ones here. I think the inks are probably going to take over. So that was the purplish red, and I'm just going to drop the 1 or maybe a couple of drops over that of the C Deeper. Oh no! It happens. For the one next to it, or a couple in, we're going to go with a yellow. See, they are taking over quite a bit, so I'll try with 1 drop on this. Hopefully we'll get that sinking effect. Really worried about my white dropping everywhere now. So with this round one, now I've got some white in there, I'm just going to go over blue over here, and then a white over the top of the blue. And next to it as well. You've got to love alcohol inks and the way that they just decide that they want to come out on their own. So with the oval one next to the round one, we're just going to go in with a magenta. Just the 1 drop, and then maybe 2 of the white on top, just to make sure that it sinks. Moving on, I'm going to try and keep my focus locked the whole way through this video because I always forget. We're going to go with a dark magenta. It's not really spreading, but it could be a good thing for the results. A couple of the white. Should we go for next? Go for an orange. If it wants to come out. There we go. Again, adding a couple of drops just to spread it out a little bit more. Now for this one we'll go with the yellow green. I had to do two on that because it was going to drip into the mould anyway. Now for one of my favourites, peach red. We got just the one in that one, which is good. It's just sitting there all on its own. Again, a couple of drops of the white. Really want to try and keep these as minimalistic as possible. Now we go with a dark indigo. And you can see that my moulds aren't full because I need to do a backing to make these colours pop. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. Now for this one we go with a yellow. No, this is lemon yellow. I'll go with 2 drops of that. I know I said one, but it's quite a bigger piece, that one. We'll go with a Sugilite red, if that's how you say it. I always struggle. I should really know by now, I've been using them long enough. Getting a couple of drops of the white on that one. And the one next to it, where's my normal yellow? Getting a couple of drops of the sinker. 2 left to go. And we're going to go with that coffee. I had a couple of comments on the last video where I used the coffee. People do seem to like it. I'm not overly fond of it, but it's just different. Right, so this one here, we're going to go in with as many colours as I can possibly fit in there. So we're going to go with as safe a selection as possible. So that was yellow, and next to that I'm going to go with a lemon yellow, and we're going to work our way round. So now I'm going to use the yellow green, and then I'll use next to that, I'm dropping my inks everywhere, the normal green, and from there we can work our way into our blues. Could go yellow again, then a blue. So that was the sapphire blue. And then from there, we'll go into an azure blue. And then we can go into a red. What else? I could fit something else in the middle there. I think I'll go with another yellow just next to those blues and reds, because then we'll get the orange. I missed out the orange. And then I'm just going to drop my white on top of each colour, working my way around. And any gaps I could leave, or I could fill it in with another yellow just to be safe. I'll go with another yellow. And then again with our CD bar, just a couple of drops to just spread that out. And hopefully, well, we shouldn't get any muddying at all with that. So now we wait for our usual 1 hour stir. I'm just checking to make sure that I've not missed any cavities. We don't want to waste that resin. So I will see you in about 1 hour. Okay, it's time to swell things up. These ones have really taken over. Not the negative space that I wanted. But they're so small, it was to be expected really. Never mind. So you want, it might differ, the time might differ, I've said this before, but to anyone new, you want that stringy consistency when it comes to stirring, which gives us the best effects. Now, I'm just going to go with my normal stirring technique with these. Don't know whether that's a bit of ink just there. I'm going to take it out because I don't want it there. And it's just a tiny bit of ink sprayed. That's gone now. And we're not going too deep with the stir either. So we don't want to scratch our moulds. Especially not this one anyway, it's a good mould. And always clean your stick before you dip. So you're not mixing the colours from the one that you've stirred before. Bit different. Normally I mix all my colours like I did on the bigger one. It'll be interesting anyway. And it's quite focused up in this area up here, isn't it? So let's see if I can bring some of it down through the clear. Stringy. Again on this one, I'm going to try and bring it up into the clear and then back down. You can see that feathering already happening. Just 2 to go. I don't know what I'm going to do with this coffee one, as in a backing. I'd need to go with a lighter colour, maybe a white or a coloured, a yellow background would look good. So now for the big one. And there we go. I will see you for the next stage. Okay, we're ready for a backing. I'm going to do some black, some white, and then I thought I'd change things up and use some red as well. So I'm going to start mixing these up. So I think I'm going to add the red backgrounds to the yellow pieces. You could use mica powders, liquid dyes. Just make sure that they're opaque. So if you're using the transparent liquid dyes, then just add some of the white to the dye just to make it opaque. So I think I'll go for this one and this one with a red background. So that's those two with the red, and I also did that little one there. I don't think it's going to show through, but I did it anyway. Now for the black, I've just used the Let's Resin black liquid dye, which is, I'd say, a semi-opaque. So it might leave us with a smoky black that's not quite solid, but we'll see. I'll go over this one. I think we'll go with the blue and white. Hopefully we get like a stormy effect. Maybe. We'll go with the orange, the black. And I think with this peach red, the pink one just here, I do really want to do the big round one with black as well, so I might have to mix up some more. I should have enough now. I'm not so worried if it's not full for the video. I just want the back covered black. We'll spread that around. Now for, we'll go with some white, I think. So we'll go with white on this one. Definitely on this green one. And this purple one below. I think it was actually indigo, not purple. Maybe this one at the top should just show through some of the gaps, I'm hoping. So with the coffee, I've gone with a yellow. Could have added a bit more pigment to that, but I'll try and see if I can scrape out my last drop. We've got one left, and I've got just minimal amount of black and white in there, so I'm going to try and mix them both up together. So I've got the black on the bottom half. I'm going to move this around a little bit more, and there I've got the white on the top half. So I'm going to just spread these around so that the whole back is covered. Not sure what it's going to come out like. I normally only stick with one colour. Why don't we just swirl that as well? Just blend the two around. You never know. Right, that is all of them covered as much as I can. Just need to move that white around the top of this one. And I will see you for the demold. Okay, let's see what we've got. I'm starting to lose sunlight. I really want this video up tonight. Right, let's see if we'll start with the small ones. I'm not sure if that white's going to have shown through. No. Just a little bit, maybe. Focus. It's really not liking that colour. It's not focusing. It's a shame because it looks really nice. I'll try and zoom, maybe. No, it doesn't want to play with that one. It's got some really good detail. It's just not showing up properly on the camera, maybe because it's so small. Hopefully. Wow, that's really bright. Not really seeing the red. Wow. Not so much of a storm, but really nice the way the black is kind of working with the blue and the white. It's still a little bit soft on the back. Not sure on the black and white, but it definitely breaks it up. Really good detailing. Wow. We've got some spores. That's really nice. Minimalistic is what I wanted. Well, I'm not keen on that top bit, but it's still nice. Moving on. Wow. That's much better. That white really works with the green as well. I think anyway. Let me know in the comments which one's your favourite. Not sure. We've got a bit of muddying down there. It's just where the black has touched the colour. Almost like a flower. Almost. Oh wow. Oh no. Tiny little blob down there and a little cavity from a bubble. And that is... I could just drill that tiny blob out that's touched. That must have been in my mould. I could just drill that out just slightly and fill that. But that is stunning. Yeah, it's like a storm on another planet, isn't it? I like that. And the colours really work well together. I've always just done like a black or white background, haven't I? It's different to use a colour. That is really nice. Probably my favourite so far. Oh, little bubble there. You can barely see, tongue-tied again, barely notice it. I like it. 3 to go. Wow. Another tiny little bubble down there. But again, you can't really see it. The way that yellow scatters almost up there. That is nice. We'll leave the big one. I'll leave the big one till last. But as always, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. If you're not logged into your YouTube, please log in and sub. 50% of my viewers still haven't hit that little button. Wow. That yellow really works with that coffee. Again, another tiny little bubble, but I'm not that worried. That is... it's vibrant and it's not at the same time. Those details, the spores, like little people, can you see them? Little people rush into the middle of the piece. That is stunning. Last one, and as always, give the video a thumbs up, helps with the algorithm. Drop me a comment. Let me know which one's your favourite. Wow. Hello. Look at that. You can just see the black in the gaps, but if I'd have left that blank without the black, it really wouldn't have popped as much. I've forgotten how many colours I put in there now, but it was quite a few. That is stunning. Right guys, I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.